Marc Savard, one of the most prolific passers to ever play in the NHL. He had his career ended early by that piece of shit Matt Cook, as everyone loves to hate. I always wondered how his career would have ended up if he stayed healthy. Would he have won a cup or two with the Bruins? How many points would he have finished with? With this video, we will find out. What if Marc Savard never got injured?
Herotheycallme.
So hey, let's play. I'm Herotheycallme. Thank you for watching this video and welcome to this What If series of Marc Savard. What would it be like if he never got injured? As you can see, we have Marc Savard listed as the 4th overall pick in the draft this year. Those of you who know me, you know that I am a big-time Bruins fan, and I loved Marc Savard as a player. I thought he was one of the best players I've ever seen play the game. Honestly, offensively, he was extremely gifted. Great offensive instincts, amazing passer. Was really fun to watch, and it always bothered me that I believe he did technically get a cup ring with the Bruins, but obviously, you know, it's not quite the same as being out there and winning it. And I always wanted to see him come back healthy and able to play, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to do that. So this is kind of my video to him, you know, trying to see if we can get him a cup in this game at least. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but here we go, Mark. Let's see where you get drafted. And Marc Savard is going to the Detroit Red Wings, 4th overall pick. Kavanaugh was the pick for Ottawa, which would have been interesting to see because, you know, Marc Savard is from Ottawa, so it would have been interesting to see him go back to his hometown. But Detroit it is. I'm sure he's going to make Detroit proud. Let's see how well he does. Not really a surprise being 74 overall. Marc Savard isn't on the opening night roster for the Detroit Red Wings. Marc Savard will be playing another year in the OHL with the Oshawa Generals. Here are his stats in case you wanted to see his base stats before he starts getting any better. He's got pretty good passing at 94, good puck control. His offensive awareness is also really high. I figure those are the ones I was going to put him at real early to get those boosted, and I'm sure he'll grow into quite the playmaker for the Red Wings, who are going to have a lot of firepower in the next couple of years. Well, in year 1, the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid won the Art Ross and the Hearts. James Norris went to Victor Hedman. Lady Byng to Connor McDavid. Calder went to Alexis Lafreniere. Conn Smythe with the Evgeny Kuznetsov. Vezina with the Tuukka Rask. William F. Jennings to Jacob Markstrom. Frank Selke and Ozzy Kopitar. Ted Lindsay to Connor McDavid. Alexander Ovechkin won the Maurice Richard. So not much has changed. Marc Savard is now 76 overall. And you can see he lit up Oshawa with 60 games played at 51 goals, 49 assists for 100 points. So I think he's ready to come to the big leagues, or at least the AHL, at 76 overall for the season. Kind of surprised by this one. Marc Savard going into year 2 is 78 overall, and I guess he's not really an overager yet. He's only 19, but he'll be 20 at the end of the year. So I think that's technically, I think 2021 is an overager in the OHL. But 78 overall, they're going to have him in the OHL for one more year, and I'm sure he's going to light it up even more. He put up 100 points last season, so I guess we'll see how much he does at the end of the year of this season. Zdeno Chara retired as a member of the Maple Leafs. Blech. Washington Capitals go back-to-back as Stanley Cup champions. Leon Draisaitl won the Art Ross. Barkov won the Hart. Seth Jones won the James Norris. Lady Byng to Aho. Some guy named Nicholas wins the Calder. I believe that was one of the made-up players. Conn Smythe goes to Samsonov. Vezina to Gibson. Korpisalo wins to William F. Jennings. Frank Selke to Barkov as well. It's a hell of a year. Ted Lindsay to Barkov. And Maurice Richard to Alex Ovechkin again, and Leon Draisaitl. They tied, actually. Well, Detroit just got a little bit better, which means Marc Savard's future is going to get better because Brad Lambert is now on the team. Marc Savard is now an 82 overall, and he actually finished with less points this season in the OHL. He had 27 goals and 50 assists for 77 points and was a -2, a little bit strange. But I'm sure we'll see him in the NHL this year at 82 overall. Well, Marc Savard's finally made the team. It's not exactly where we want it to be on the 4th line, but let's look at the Detroit Red Wings as they go into their 3rd season here, as Marc Savard goes into his 3rd season, I should say. You got Zadina, Larkin, and Raymond as the top line. Bertuzzi, Fabry for some reason playing center, and Anthony Mantha. They got Evander Kane, Gaudette, and Brett Connolly. And then they have Michael Rasmussen, Joe Veleno, and Marc Savard. Very, very young team. That's for sure. Defensively, they got Chalowski and D'Angelo, Del Zotto and Hronek, Holden and Sider. And then in nets, they have Igor Shesterkin. I don't know how they pulled that one off, but that's a pretty good, and RC Kemper. That's a pretty good goaltending duo. So we'll see if this is a good enough team to make the playoffs, and if Marc Savard will actually progress and go up in the lines. So you see he's 83 overall right now. You can take a look at his stats, and we'll see if he's able to climb up a bit and maybe take over that second line center spot throughout this year. Well, in Marc Savard's first full season as an NHL player, he played 61 games, so he was out for either injuries or just being a healthy scratch. He had 13 goals, 17 assists, and 30 points. It was a -11 as a fourth liner. 30 points as a fourth liner is pretty damn good. So it's I can see only going up from here. He's an 84 overall. There are his stats. He is listed as a second line forward right now, but they still have him on the fourth line. And the Red Wings actually made the playoffs. They're facing off against the Philadelphia Flyers in round 1. So we'll see if Marc Savard in his first year could have a decent playoff run. Well, in his first playoff experience, they went 7 games but were unable to beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Savard played in all 7 games, had 4 points, 1 goal, 3 assists for 4 points. Pretty damn good. Another one of the most prolific passers in the game, Joe Thornton, retires as a member of the Anaheim Ducks. That's weird. The Philadelphia Flyers won the Stanley Cup. Austin Matthews won the Art Ross and the Hart. James Norris won to Ivan Provorov. Lady Bing to Mitch Marner. Niels Hoglander won the Calder. Konecki won the Conn Smythe. Vezina wins to Connor Hellebuyck. William Jennings to Carter Hartz. Frank J. Selke to Couturier. Ted Lindsay to Austin Matthews. And Maurice Richard to Austin Matthews. And here come the young guns for Detroit. As you can see, their top line is Zadina, Larkin, Mantha. We got Robbie Fabry, Marc Savard, finally where he deserves to be at second line center right now, and Lucas Raymond. I'm sure they're going to have a hell of a year. You got Bertuzzi, Lambert, and Mercer, so that's another center coming up. Someone's going to dethrone Larkin here. It's either going to be Savard or Lambert, but that's not a problem for the Red Wings to have 3 amazing centers in the future. Evander Kane, Gaudette, and Veleno as their fourth line. Defensively, they got Gardner now, D'Angelo, Cholowski, Shattenkirk, Seider, and Hronek. A bit better defense than they had last season. See if their goaltending is doing. Still Shesterkin and Kemper. If they made the playoffs last year, I feel like they improved on their team, so you'd assume they make the playoffs this year, but it is NHL 21. They might finish last. You can see Marc Savard is an 86 overall now at the age of 21. There are his stats if you care to look at them. Detroit just making it into the playoffs by 3 points. They finished with 93 points, 43 wins, 32 losses. Marc Savard finished second on Detroit with 27 goals, 38 assists, 65 points in 82 games. He's a -16. He's got to work on that. His defensive game isn't quite there yet. It took him a while in real life to get his defensive game to become better. But he's an 87 overall now, as you can see. There are his stats. And on to the playoffs we go. Detroit and Marc Savard will be going against Marc Savard's hometown, Ottawa Senators, in the first round. And once again, Marc Savard and the Red Wings fall in 7 games, but this time to the Ottawa Senators. Savard finished with more points this time. He actually had 4 goals and 1 assist for 5 points. Pretty damn good second playoff attempt for him. The cup remains in the East as the Columbus Blue Jackets won the Stanley Cup. Tyler Seguin won the Art Ross and the Hart. Seth Jones won the James Norris. Lady Bing to Seguin as well. Ryan Merkley won the Calder. Conn Smythe went to Jonathan Bernier. Wow, all right. Vezina went to Jonas Corpusalo in St. Louis. Frank J. Selke went to Ryan O'Reilly in Calgary. Ted Lindsay to Tyler Seguin. Nicholas won the Maurice Richard, so I guess that made up player is really good. Marc Savard has become the king in Detroit as he takes over the number 1 center spot from Dylan Larkin. He's now at 89 overall. If you want to see his stats, there they are. He's gotten a hell of a lot better. Speed, a little low. Not the fastest of skaters, Marc Savard. Agility, really good. Acceleration, really good. But the speed, not quite there. If you can get that up, that could really improve his game. His shot's gotten a lot better. His passing is a 99. He's going to be dishing that puck, dishing that biscuit. Anthony Mantha and Zadina are now his line mates. Fabry and Raymond are now with Larkin, Bertuzzi, Lambert, and Mercer. And then we got Evander Kane, Henrique, and Veleno as the fourth line. Let's see how their defense looks. Gardner, D'Angelo, Shattenkirk, Sauchi, Cholowski, and Seider. Not the greatest. And then in nets, Kemper and Riddick. So they lost Shesterkin, but they brought in David Ridge as a backup. Still a good goaltending duo. We'll see if it works for them, though. With Marc Savard as the face of the franchise, the Detroit Red Wings finished 11th in the Eastern Conference, only 83 points in 82 games. That is horrendous. Savard finished second on the team in points with 31 goals, 40 assists for 71 points. He had 297 shots. This game's so broken still with creative players. But nowhere near as good enough as we need him to be, that's for sure. Zadina, another 70-point season. I think this is the most points that Marc Savard has put up, but he put up more last season. No, this is the most points he's put up in the NHL so far, 30, 65, and 71 so far in his 5 years. So he's getting better. You know, he fixed the plus minus. That's all you could really ask of right now, and hopefully Detroit can build off of this in the future. This might be the strangest retirement class. Patrice Bergeron, Phil Kessel, Blake Wheeler, and David Krejci, all former teammates of Marc Savard on Boston. David Krejci and Patrice Bergeron both retired on the Minnesota Wild. And Krejci and Bergeron both went out as Stanley Cup champions as Minnesota won the Stanley Cup. Matt Boldy won the Art Ross. Hart Memorial also won the Boldy. Zach Werenski won the James Norris. Matt Boldy won the Lady Byng. Jesus. Shane Wright won the Calder. Jones won the Conn Smythe for Minnesota. Vezina went to Freddie Anderson in Pittsburgh. I can see that happening in real life. Cal Fleury to Bill Masterson. Frank Giselke to Ryan Riley again. Ted Lindsay to Matt Boldy. And Maurice Richard to Nicholas again. Marc Savard now at 90 overall. Signed a huge deal, as you can see. His new 6-year deal with the Detroit Red Wings is going to pay him $9.17 million per year. Hell of a deal for the Red Wings and Marc Savard. He will be 29 when the deal is done, so we'll see where he's at in his career at that point, if he's won anything. So far, not so good, but Marc Savard is playing with Zadina and Mantha still. We got Larkin, John Tavares, and Lucas Raymond now. Brad Marchand over in Detroit. Brad Lambert and Dawson Mercer as the third line. Bodker, Veleno, and Ennis as the fourth. Defensively, they brought in Travis Sanheim to play with D'Angelo, Sauci, Sider, Kovalev, and Gardner. Kovalev is a young defenseman. Hopefully that will help him out as well. And then in nets, they have Grubauer and Rittich. So they got rid of Kemper and brought in Grubauer. We'll see if that changes anything for this team. The second year at Marc Savard at the helm of the Detroit Red Wings, they just squeeze into the playoffs in that 8th spot. Marc Savard finished with 77 points, had 41 goals and 36 assists, 333 shots. Okay, game. I love this game. If Marc Savard took 333 shots in his entire career, I'd be surprised. Savvy is now 90 overall. There is his overalls right there if you want to see. And he'll be facing the Pittsburgh Penguins in the first round. So a nice rivalry matchup there. The Penguins and the Detroit Red Wings from way back when. Usually the Wings lose in 7. This time they got swept by the Penguins. So the first time as Marc Savard as the number 1 center in the playoffs, he gets swept. He had 4 points in 4 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, so I guess you can't really blame him. As quick as Marchand came to Detroit, he is gone. Good night, sweet prince. The Anaheim Ducks won the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid back with the R. Austin Hart. James Norris goes to Seth Jones. Lady Byng to Connor Bedard. That makes sense. Calder Memorial to Grigory Denisenko. Wow, he's only getting starting time now. He must be like in his mid-20s. Conn Smythe to Trevor Zegras. Vezina to Igor Shesterkin. Remember when he was on our team? Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen with William M. Jennings. Frank Giselke to Sean Couturier. Ted Lindsay to Connor McDavid. Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard. We now have Dylan Larkin, Savard, and Mantha as the top line. It seems like they decided to put Larkin as a winger. Anderson, Lambert, and Raymond as a second line. It's a pretty good second line. Ostap Safin, that's a name. Veleno and Dawson Mercer as a third line. Giovanni Smith, Mark Jankowski, and Tyler Benson as our fourth line. Defensively, we got Sanheim and Sider, Kovalev, Jacobson, Cuckoo, and William Wallinder. And then in nets, Lindblom and Rittich. So they have a younger goalie who might get a bit better. The first line's really good. The defense is we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if this team can make the playoffs. Look at Detroit finishing third after saying I don't think they make the playoffs. It's the curse of this game. Oh, that team's going to suck. Oh, they're great. Marc Savard hitting 91 points to match his number of 91. 53 goals, 38 assists. Not turning out to be the playmaker I was hoping he'd be. But, you know, he's making plays just by putting the puck in the back of the net. He's passing them into the back of the net. You know, that's what he does. He's such a good passer. You can pass the puck into the back of the net. He had 352 shots. You want to know the funny thing about this? Before I started, I turned the shot totals of a season lower, and he's still putting up over 300 shots a game or a season. It's ridiculous. Creative players are broken in this game, as you can plainly see. This will be the first time that the Red Wings and Marc Savard go into the playoffs as not the underdog, as the favorite as they face Columbus in the first round. And it doesn't matter because Columbus makes quick work of the Red Wings, winning 4-2. Savard only having 3 goals in the playoffs in 6 games, which is not good enough when you're supposed to be the top dog. The Winnipeg Jets bring the cup back to Canada. Elias Pettersson won the Art Ross. Marc Savard with the Hart Memorial Trophy. There it is. First trophy for Marc Savard. Good for you, bud. James Norris to Cale Makar. Lady Bing to Elias Pettersson. Who cares about the Calder at this point because it's all made-up players. Conn Smythe to a made-up goalie. Vezina to Varlamov. Good for him. Ryan O'Reilly with Frank J. Selke. That's what I wanted to say. Ted Lindsay, of course, going to Marc Savard as well. And Maurice Richard goes to Nicholas. Interesting to see Marc Savard win those awards, being third in the league in points. You don't see that too often. 53 goals might have done it. He might have, maybe the game relies on whoever has the most goals, and he definitely did. 38 assists for 91 points. By the age of 24, 2 big awards for Marc Savard. It's now year 8, but year 6 for Marc Savard as a Detroit Red Wing. He's a 91 overall. Here are his stats if the game will let me load. There we go. Thank you. He's playing with Mantha and Lucas Raymond now. Dylan Larkin has actually fallen to the second line with Lambert and Mercer. Valeno Anderson and, wow, Elias Anderson grew, geez. And Cousins, Kachuk, Patan, and Tuft as the fourth line. This is a really good offensive cast. They brought in a pretty good defender in Noah Hanifin to play with Moritz Seider. Sandheim, Kovalev, Jacobson, and Drew Doughty. A very old Drew Doughty, but it's Drew Doughty nonetheless. That's probably the best their defense has looked in a while as well. How's their goaltending situation look? They got Olaf Lindbaum and Jan Bednar, so this is a good team. Now that I've said that, oh wow, the Red Wings actually did well after saying they had a good team. Usually when I say that, they finish dead last. So the jinx is no more, I guess. 96 points, 45 wins, 31 losses for Marc Savard and the Wings. Savvy led his team with 87 points, 54 goals, 33 assists. This boy is a sniper this year. Like I said, he'd be passing pucks into the back of the net. Brad Lambert had a good year too with 79 points. Lucas Raymond with 77. That's what I want to see. -2 though from your top center isn't the greatest. But here's where it really matters. Can Marc Savard and the Red Wings actually make it past the first round? Because they haven't done it yet. Finally, the Detroit Red Wings get past the first round, winning pretty easily against Carolina Hurricanes, 4-1 I should say, 5 games. They got the Toronto Maple Leafs up next, being led by their superstar center in Marc Savard with 5 points in 5 games, 2 goals, 3 assists. That is as far as the Wings and Savard will go as they lose in 7 games to the Toronto Maple Leafs. So now that they got past the first round, they got to figure out how to get past the second round. Another 7-game loss seems to be their thing, usually anyways. Toronto going on to face the Islanders. We'll see if Toronto goes on to win the Cup. Marc Savard finished with 9 points, 5 goals, 4 assists in 12 games. The team was actually led by Raymond and Anderson. Sure enough, the Toronto Maple Leafs actually did go on to win the Cup. I think that's 2 times now that the Red Wings have been eliminated by the Cup champions. Art Ross goes to Connor Bedard and the Hart as well. James Norris goes to Noah Hanifin. There you go. At least they had that going for them. Let's see. Conn Smythe, Austin Matthews. Vezina to Brennan. William Jennings, Thatcher Demko on Edmonton. Sure, that'll make the Canucks fans happy. Frank J. Selke goes to Couturier. Bedard won with Ted Lindsay. Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard just taking over the league, I should say, for the Islanders. Oh, okay. Brad Lambert at the age of 24 was taking over the top spot from Marc Savard at the age of 26. Savard now a 90 overall, playing second line center duty already. This would usually be his prime age, but Lambert seems to have risen above him. So we got Mantha, Lambert, and Raymond, Larkin, Savard, and Malgin as the second line. Falk, Anderson, and Suni, Kachuk, Jost, and Cousins. Still a pretty good team. Defensively, Hanifin still here. Kovalev, Kuku, Wallinder, Kaloma, and Anderson. So they lost Moritz Seider, it seems. Their defense looks a little bit weaker now. And in nets, they have Allenfelt and Bednar. So they also lost their goalie, but brought in a pretty good one in Hugo Allenfelt. So we'll see how Savard does. That was his most successful season as in playoffs, getting to the second round. But now that he's on the second line, we'll see if his numbers dwindle a bit. Do you see what happens when you take Marc Savard off of the number 1 center spot? Do you see it? Detroit misses out on the playoffs, 92 points. 1 point behind the Buffalo Sabres, not getting to the playoffs this year. Marc Savard did finish top of his team, though, at 95 points, trying to lead the team. Imagine what he would have done if he was number 1 center. Lambert only had 67. I imagine they switched it up halfway through. I like how Brad Lambert, let's see, look at the stats real quick. Let's see what his passing is. He's got 91 in passing. His shot, his accuracy is terrible for his slap shots. His wrist shot's pretty bad, too. And you look at Savard, And you're like, oh, his passing's a 99, but he's got 92 in slap shot accuracy and 94 in wrist shot accuracy because his game's broken and doesn't know how to build proper players. But 56 goals, that might be enough for another award for Savvy. We'll have to wait and see. The Cup is staying in Canada for a third straight year as the Edmonton Oilers win the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid won the Art Ross and the Hearts. James Norris went to Miro Heiskanen. Matt Boldy won the Lady Byng. Conn Smythe went to Draisaitl. Vezina went to some goalie. Frank Jasilki went to Antoine Lundell. The Montreal Canadiens had Lindsay McDavid, and Bedard won the Maurice Richard. I want to see where Savvy ended up. Marc Savard finished with 95 points, so McDavid obviously the best player in the league with 109. Connor Bedard had 61 goals. All right, so it wasn't even close. Marc Savard back at 91, taking over his spot as the number one center. Mantha and Raymond on his wings. Larkin, Lambert, Anderson as the second line for the Red Wings. Markstrom, Jost, Nickel, Couts, Cousins, and Bjork as the fourth line. You got Hanifin still in the back end. Kola, Pareko's here. Kilholma, Mikro Mueller, and Sean Walker as your defenseman. And then in nets, they got Matt Sodgaard. They're just jumping through goalie to goalie to goalie. Can't find one that they like, I guess. We'll see how this goes for the Red Wings. Well, would you look at that? Marc Savard back at number one center, and the Detroit Red Wings for the first time in Savvy's career are the number one team in the Eastern Conference. 105 points, 49 wins, 26 losses. Pretty damn good season. Marc Savard finishing with 99 points. He had 60 goals. Hell of a passer. Passing it right into the back of the net. 39 assists, 99 points. He was a +1. That's embarrassing. That's getting 99 points, almost 100 points, and you're a +1. A defensive game, though. It's not coming along. What is his defensive awareness? Where is it? 74. Yeesh. Oof. And the Red Wings have the New York Rangers, actually the team that I believe drafted Marc Savard originally in the NHL. And we're moving on to the second round. Another 5-game series in the first round for the Red Wings. They got the Florida Panthers this time. Will they be able to actually get to the finals, or the Eastern Conference Finals, that is? We'll have to wait and see. Marc Savard had 9 points in 5 games, 6 goals, 3 assists. He's really trying his best. Only a +1, though. But holy shit, the Detroit Red Wings actually passed the second round. I guess technically it's only their second attempt at it, so it's not that bad. But it's a 4-0 win. They're already down 1-0 to the Penguins right here, which isn't great. Old rivalries renewed once again. Savard has 18 points in 10 games, 13 goals, 5 assists. It's a +4, at least that's a plus. After dropping game 1, the Red Wings fight right on back, 4 straight wins, knocking out the Penguins, and they'll face off against the Vancouver Canucks in the finals, who had a 7-game series against the Oilers. 4-0 sweep against the Vancouver Canucks, or against the Calgary Flames, and then 4-1 win over Winnipeg to get to the finals. So it's a battle of 2 really good teams, it seems. Let's see what's on that Vancouver Canucks team. Marc Savard continues to dominate with 23 points. He got 16 goals in 14 games played. That's insane. So the Red Wings look like Mantha, Lambert, Raymond. It looks like they have Lambert as a top-line center for this. Larkin, Savard, Nickel, Suni, Anderson, Markstrom, Cousins, Jost, and Couts. Defense is Hanifin, Walker, Mueller, Kiloma, Sword, and Pareko, and somehow they're doing it with that defense. And the goalies is still Matt Sogard. Vancouver has Kari Virtanen. Okay, I guess they got a better Virtanen. Elias Pettersson and Ola Hedstrom. Jesper Bratt, Mika Lamminen, and Jesse Puljujarvi. What is this, like all like Swedes and Finns? Let me see. Finn? Alright. Swede. I already knew that. I don't know why I looked. Hedstrom sounds like a Swede. Swede, yeah. Jesper Bratt is a Swede. Lamminen is a Finn. And Puljujarvi's a Finn as well, yeah. Swedes and Finns. Moran, Grui, Sessions, Heponiemi, there we go, I said it. Bellows and Paterka. Defensively, they got Grossman, Schneider, D'Angelo Lundqvist, Dobson, and Coglian. And in nets, they are rocking Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That's a good team, man. We'll see. All right, game 1 of the series goes to the Vancouver Canucks. All right, Vancouver up 1-0 here. They're going to go to the next game and see if Detroit can tie it up, and they can. All right, Detroit back in this one. Vancouver taking the lead, though, making it a 2-1 series for the Nucks. Make that a 3-1. They're looking to end off Detroit and Marc Savard right now, and they have. So as we know, the Canucks won the Stanley Cup. Connor McDavid, I should say. I was going to say Bedard won the Art Ross. Hart Morin with the Connor McDavid as well. Scott Pernovich won the James Norris. All right. Conn Smythe with Elias Pettersson. Vezina went to the same goalie as did last year Frank Selke went to Sean Couturier on the Devils. McDavid won the Ted Lindsay, and then Maurice Richard went to Bedard again. What the heck does Savard have to do to get more awards? I see. So he was 9 points off, technically, I guess 10 if you wanted to win it, from like the Art Ross, and 4 goals away from Bedard. Good, but not great. Well, the Red Wings just got to the finals, and this is a big year for Marc Savard as he's once again the second-line center. But this is a big year. You want to know why it's a big year? I'll show you why. 1 more year left on the deal at the age of 28. He'll be 29 at the end of the year, and he'll be looking to make some big money. Bigger money, probably. Over $10 million would be my guess. He's playing with Elias Anderson, Dylan Larkin, Raymond, Lambert, Mantha, the top line. Henriksen, Mark Scheifele, all right, and Martin Kaut, Kachuk, Sundqvist, and Henneman, I think is how you pronounce that. Hanifin, Kovalev, Sword, Kaloma, Chalowski, and Makinen as defensemen. And Bednar is their goalie now, so it looks like they got a bit weaker defensively and in nets. We'll see if they could have another long run in the playoffs or if they could even make the playoffs. And what could possibly be Marc Savard's last game or last season with the Detroit Red Wings? They failed to make the playoffs, and they actually ended dead last in the Eastern Conference. That's not a look you want when you have a star player coming up on his contract, but we'll see what Marc Savard does next season. Marc Savard finished with 41 goals, 40 assists for 81 points. He was a minus 20, though. This boy could score, but he can't play defense. Arizona fans rejoice. That's all 12 of you. The Coyotes have won the Stanley Cup. Connor Bedard won the Art Ross. Hart Memorial goes to Matt Barzal. Heiskanen for James Norris. That's how that said. Conn Smythe went to Matt Michkov. Okay, that makes sense. That's why they won. Vezina Trophy to Jesper Wallstedt. Frank Selke to Lundell. Barzal to Ted Lindsay. Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard again. Oh my god. I should just call it the Maurice Bedard. Dylan Larkin is in free agency, which makes me think Marc Savard has signed a new 8-year deal with the Detroit Red Wings, which will keep him around until he's 36 years of age at least. $12 million, just over $12 million. So no more Larkin, though. He takes that big chunk of change away from Dylan Larkin. We'll see what the Red Wings organization will look like going forward now. Marc Savard has moved over to the wing. Brad Lambert taking that center spot. Lucas Raymond on the right wing. That's a really good top line. They also brought in Pete Meach. I'm not sure where they got him from, but I think I remember seeing his name. Seattle. Oh, look at that. He was a Seattle Kraken member. That's why I remember seeing his name. Nolan Patrick, Anthony Mantha, Kachuk, O'Brien, Rubstov, Bowie, Hutchings, it's saying Enroth. So they got a really good top line. They got a good winger here and an okay second line. Third line's alright as well. Fourth line could be a bit better. Defensively, they're not great. And in nets, they got Stu Skinner and Nigel Kovic. They're going to be real top line heavy. If that top line doesn't play well, they're going to be in for a rough time, I think. Well, the Red Wings just barely snuck into the playoffs. I shouldn't say just barely. They had a pretty good lead, 4 points or whatever. Marc Savard leading the way, followed by Meach. That's kind of surprising. Where did Sam Reinhart come from? I guess they made a trade. Detroit has Toronto in the first round, so we'll see if this could be a year where Detroit gets to the finals. And it won't be, because they lose in 7. What's more fitting than Marc Savard and the Red Wings losing in 7 in the first round? Though you can't really blame it on Marc, because he had 13 points in 7 games. Lambert with 11. It seems maybe the goaltending let them down. I have no idea. It had to have been the goaltending with those kind of numbers, right? Oh yeah. Yes, it was. I want to say it's the 3rd time now that Marc Savard and the Red Wings have lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champions. Jack Eichel won the Art Ross. Hart Memorial went to Pierre-Luc Dubois. That's surprising. James Norris goes to Ryan Merkley, of all people. Lady Bing to Jack Eichel. Conn Smythe goes to Mitch Marner. Vezina goes to a goalie that doesn't exist. Frank Selke to Antoine Lundell. Ted Lindsay to Pierre-Luc Dubois. Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard, of course. Not much of a difference in the lineup for Savard and the Red Wings as Savard, Lambert, Raymond one more time. The top line, they got Meach and Patrick. This time they have Pettinger as another winger. Nilstrop. Rubstov moves up, I think, from the 4th line to the 3rd line to become the centerman. Bowie, Hutchinson, Kapari, and Koivula, I guess is how you pronounce that. Okay. They bring in Daniel Chaka, Gustav Kovalev, Gerbreshkov, I should say, PRV, Kiloma. Their defense has been real weak, like ever since Savard's been here, and they keep Stu Skinner for some reason. All right, I don't know if that's a good choice. Well, No Detroit or Marc Savard this year. Oh, they just missed out on the playoffs, just by a couple points from the Boston Bruins. I wonder if it was the goaltending. Ooh, maybe it was the points. Marc Savard got 83 points in 82 games, 53 goals. Still passing the puck into the back of that net. Best passer you've ever seen. We'll go ahead and check on the goaltending. Let's see how that did. 901, 308, not the best, but pretty average for what you usually get. But for Marc Savard and the team to get any farther, they need to bring in some depth and some better goaltending. Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, so anyone who's a Toronto fan will love that. Connor Bedard won the Art Ross, Hart Memorial with Connor McDavid, the two Connors running the league. Cale Makar with the James Norris, Lady Bing the Pasternak on Edmonton of all places. Conn Smythe with the Yaroslav Askarov, okay, that might have something to do with it. Vezina went to Carter Hart in Florida, oh my goodness. William Jennings with Askarov as well. Frank Selke went to Vasily Ponomarev. Ted Lindsay to Connor Bedard, and Maurice Richard once again to, say it with me now, Connor Bedard. Marc Savard at the age of 31 is now the second line center on the team. You can see his stats here if you want to look at them. He's still been a 90 for the last couple of years, but I assume he's going to start to fall a bit as he gets a bit older here. Lambert's taking over that top spot, and Meach is taking over that left wing spot. Raymond's up here. So we got Pettinger and Lankinen with Marc Savard, Bolivier, Patrick, Rubstov, Neil Storp, Kupari, and Bowie. So they did beef up balanced out the forward lines, that's for sure, for the season. Chaka Kovalev, pretty much the same defense. Nothing too crazy. They still haven't had that number one stud. But did they change the goalies? Nope. They got worse. I don't know. And what I can say is a shocker to no one. Marc Savard and the Red Wings do not make the playoffs. They finished 13th in the East, one of their worst finishes in a good long time. We've either been on the cusp of the playoffs or in the playoffs for the last, I want to say, 5 seasons. Marc Savard finished with 89 points, so as a second line center, way above Brad Lambert, so might have something to do with those 345 passes to the back of the net, or shots, I should say, and 44 of them going into the back of the net. One of the Connors retired, that being McDavid, with 1,443 games played at 1,740 points. That's insane. That's a lot of points. The Philadelphia Flyers won the Cup. Connor Bedard with the Art Ross, Connor Bedard with the Hart. James Norris goes to Ryan Merkley, now he is on Winnipeg. Elias Pettersson, or Peterson, however you pronounce his name, is the Lady Bing. Conn Smythe with some guy, Yaroslav Askarov with the Vezina, and then William M. Jennings as well. Frank Selke to Antoine Lundell, Ted Lindsay to Connor Bedard, and what do you want to bet? Yep, Connor Bedard for the Maurice Richard. How many years in a row is that now? God damn. Last year I said Marc Savard should start regressing. Instead, he decided to get better. He's 91 overall now, back to being his number. Still the second line center. Lambert still number one for some reason. Don't know why that is. Meach, Lambert, Raymond. Looks like Markstrom, Lankinen again, who've gotten worse. Pyatt, Henriksen, and Neil Storp. I don't know why Neil Storp isn't up here playing with Savard, but it is what it is for now. Defensively, they brought in Julkinen. Got a bit better, I guess. Goalies, oh my god. Okay. Simon Biga, who his role is a potential as a starter, but right now he's a backup goalie as his role. This might be another long year, or he'll completely go off and the team will be amazing. You never know in this game. Another year and another missed playoff chance for Marc Savard in the Detroit Red Wings as they finished 96 points, 1 point away from getting into the playoffs. So far, the 30s for Marc Savard have not been too great. Point-wise, he's doing all right. Still putting up like 50 goals a year, which is crazy. But playoff success just not there right now. The Boston Bruins won the Stanley Cup. Hell yeah. Connor Bedard won the Art Ross and the Hart. My God. James Norris went to some guy. Pasternak with another Lady Bing. Conn Smythe with Alex Newhook of the Boston Bruins. Vezina went to some goalie that doesn't exist. Frank Selke to Antoine Lundell. Ted Lindsay to Connor Bedard. And Maurice Richard to Connor Bedard. Well, it seems like Lucas Raymond is getting out of Detroit as his contract is done. We'll see if there's any way that Marc Savard and the Red Wings could recoup their losses in free agency. Doesn't look like Detroit did anything in the free agent market. Maybe they brought in some like younger players or something. But Nilstrop, I still don't understand why this guy is playing on this team. He's 86 overall, and he's been the fourth liner for like our third liner for the last like 3 years. Marc Savard has regressed. He's an 88 overall now at the age of 33. Here are his stats if you want to take a look at them. Did they bring anything from offense to defense? Nope, nothing. What about a goalie? Okay, Cody Bordziak. I guess they got rid of that other guy that they were using. They decided against him. He was a Seattle Kraken draft pick. Look at that. It's better than what they had before, but still not great. Well, it's been 4 years since Marc Savard made the playoffs with the Red Wings. Led the team in points again, though, 79. Closest was Lambert with 59, big 20-point differential. Back to being a minus player, though, is Savard, which is something you don't want to see this late in his career. As he's going to be 34 next season, and he's got, how many years left on his deal? 4 years left, yeah. Year after Boston wins it, Montreal wins the Stanley Cup, only fitting. Let's see if anyone is still a real player. Oh, look, Cole Perfetti, Lady Bing. So there's somebody. Jesper Wallstedt won the Vezina. Good for him, I guess. Jack Adams went to Bo Horvat as the coach of Seattle. If I could speak English for a second. Holy shit. Connor Bedard has been dethroned after like 12 years on top of the Maurice Richard trophy. Boss is now a baby. Boss baby. Savard at the age of 34 has dropped down to an 86 overall, starting to hit the wall of age that it is. Let's see where it's really dropped. His slap shot accuracy has dropped. His wrist shot power has dropped a bit. Where's his speed at? Speed is an 81. Yeah, not too fast. Acceleration and agility is still pretty good. Those puck control is really good. His passing is still really good. We'll see if he still puts up the same kind of numbers. He is playing with Pete Meach now, so that gives him someone to play with. Nilstrup has actually jumped up to the third line. Look at that. It's amazing. Jan Mysak is on the team now. Defensively, they're awful. This is the worst defensive team I've seen Detroit put out so far. And in nets, they have Cody Broziak still. Things just keep getting worse for Marc Savard and the Red Wings. The Red Wings finished dead last in the Eastern Conference this year. And Marc Savard, for the first time in a long time, I want to say, isn't the leading goal scorer for the Detroit Red Wings, as Brad Lambert takes that spot with 18 goals and 55 assists for 73 points. 69 points, though, for Marc Savard. Very nice. The Nashville Predators won the Stanley Cup in 2036-37, so there you go, T-Long. That's how long you have to wait. Boss looks like he's the new boss baby of the league. Alexander Romanov won the James Norris, so good for him. Trevor Zegras to the Lady Bing. Anybody else win anything worth mentioning? Nope. Marc Savard has 2 years left on his deal at the age of 35, and he's 84 overall. He's the third line center for the Red Wings. Maybe this is what the Red Wings needed. They brought in Quentin Byfield. They brought in Asher Rhodes. They have a pretty good top two. They got a really good third line center who's going to put up points for them. Their defense is kind of better. Their goaltending is better. We'll see if this is what it takes for Marc Savard to win a cup or even get back to the playoffs, because I don't think he's made the playoffs since he signed this new 8-year deal, so we'll see what happens. Back-to-back years now that the Detroit Red Wings have finished dead last in the East. You think they would have traded off Marc Savard and given him a chance at getting a cup maybe next year? This is his last year coming up. Savard finished 4th in scoring this time. 48 games played. Jeez, did he get hurt? He must have gotten hurt or something. 83 overall, 16 goals, 30 assists, 46 points. Still pretty damn good. It was a +7 as well. We'll see if he's going to be shipped off, if he's going to be traded somewhere maybe. Maybe he won't even be on the team. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. The Columbus Blue Jackets finally win the Stanley Cup. Connor Bedard's back, though. Art Ross and Hart. I guess he got tired. Lady Bing went to Alexis Lafreniere. Vezina went to Askarov again. Connor Bedard with Ted Lindsay. Connor Bedard back on top with Maurice Richard. Here I am looking at Detroit's offense, and I do not see Marc Savard on the team. He did have 1 year left. That is for sure. And he's not here. So either they traded him off, they're just not playing him. That's what I thought. He's a healthy scratch. 80 overall, Marc Savard, 36 years of age, is a healthy scratch on the Detroit Red Wings now. Well, I wonder if Marc Savard is regretting signing that final contract with the Detroit Red Wings, because they finished dead last for the last 3 years, and I'm pretty sure he didn't make the playoffs once after signing that new deal. Savvy only played 57 games in what might be his last season in the league. He had 23 goals, 26 assists for 49 goals. -17, but look at these minuses on this team. My goodness, this is a bad team. Hopefully, if Marc Savard does play one more season or 2 more seasons or whatever it may be, he leaves Detroit and tries to go cup chasing, because he ain't going to win it with Detroit, that's for sure. And it looks like Marc Savard will be going at least one more season, because I don't see him on the retirement list. The Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup. Connor Bedard back on top again. Shakir Mukhamadullin won the James Norris, so good for him. Cole Perfetti won the Lady Bing. Anybody else that is a real player win anything? Connor Bedard, Ted Lindsay, and Maurice Richard doesn't go to Connor Bedard. Wow. As you can see, Marc Savard's clearly not part of the Detroit Red Wings. He has moved on. Where did he go? He's now the second line center of the Winnipeg Jets at the age of 37. His deal, he signed a 1-year deal worth $6 million getting paid. That's pretty impressive. Doesn't look like a great team over here in Winnipeg. Very mediocre forward cast. Defensively is not that much better, and then in nets, it's not that much better either. We'll see if this is the deal right here for Marc Savard to get into the playoffs, or try to get for a long run. I don't think it's going to happen, but take a look. Oh boy, yeah, you can just look at it right there. Winnipeg finishes dead last. That's like what, 4 straight years that Marc Savard's finished dead last in a conference. Not a good way to go out, Mark. As you can see, Marc Savard not even on the list of players for Winnipeg. That's because he got sent over to Edmonton. Is playing in the AHL. 81 overall in the AHL. I hope they call him up. They're in the playoffs right now. I'm hoping they call him up for a playoff run because I just can't have Marc Savard finish his career in the AHL. Marc Savard, that mad lad, is still not retiring. Oh my goodness. He didn't even play in the playoffs, and he refuses to retire. Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup. Michkov won the Art Ross finally in the Hart. Anybody else win anything good? Michkov was the best player in the league. Marc Savard signed a 2-year, $5.265 million deal with the Edmonton Oilers. He's their #1 center. All right, he's playing with some real good wingers at least, so he's got that going for him. How's their defense looking? It's okay, I guess. And their goalies, they got a pretty good goalie, so there's a chance. They made the playoffs last year. For some reason, Marc Savard didn't play at all for them last year. He went straight to the AHL after he got traded there, I assume is what happened. Maybe he got picked up on waivers, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, he's got 2 years, possibly 1 if he retires at the end of this year to go for a cup. So all the best luck to you there, Savvy. The Edmonton Oilers miss out on the playoffs. The Detroit Red Wings finished 4th in the East. Marc Savard finished with 76 points at 38 years of age, 52 assists, 24 goals. That's more like Marc Savard than he should be. It's a 77 overall. Oh my God, you got to retire, bro. Marc Savard just fucking refuses to retire. He's so old. Columbus won the cup again, so good on Columbus. Art Ross back to Bedard, same with the Hart. Fucking Connor Bedard, he's a Superman, I tell you. And you got the Ted Lindsay and the Maurice Richard again. My God. Marc Savard is the #1 center in Edmonton at 73 overall. Oh my goodness. 73 overall, dude. This is his last season. There's no way he plays another one after this. He's got 1 year left on his deal. Last chance, bud. The Edmonton Oilers finished top in the league. I can't believe that. In the conference, that is, I should say. 110 points. Is Marc Savard still on the team and playing, though? That's the real question. Played 71 games, 20 goals, 45 assists, 65 points. So yeah, he's definitely still on the team. And you can see the Oilers are already up 1-0 on Arizona because I assimilated by accident. But we'll see if Marc Savard can make it to the next round. Savvy and the Oilers move on. They're going to face the Vancouver Canucks in the next round. Savard put up 3 assists in 5 games in the first round there. That is where his journey will end as they get swept by the Vancouver Canucks 4-0. And that will be the end of Marc Savard's career as he goes out as an Edmonton Oiler. 1,521 games played, 756 goals, 711 assists, and 1,467 points. Unfortunately for Marc Savard, playing on such a great team as the Detroit Red Wings, or their franchise anyways, he doesn't have any of the awards of being the most highest rated point getter. That's still Gordie Howe. Most seasons played, obviously Gordie Howe, no one will beat that. Assist goes to Eisman with over 1,000 games played. Gordie Howe, like I said. So unfortunately for him, he won't have any franchise records. I know this is a Marc Savard thing, but Connor Bedard has had 17 50-goal seasons, which is absolutely mental. Yep, so no NHL records or franchise records for Marc Savard, but a heck of a career. I think he won the Hart 1 year or something like that. He had 2 trophies. I just can't remember what they were off the top of my head. But a good career for Marc Savard, point-wise. Unfortunately, we couldn't get him that cup, which is the whole point of this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to leave a little tribute video I made of Marc Savard way back when. It's like 10 years old. I'm going to post it in the end credits if you want to stay around and click on that and watch it. You can see my old school editing skills. And really bad quality video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any ideas for any other hockey players you'd like to see this series be in, just let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So until next time, Hero Club for life.